Yes. Bridge City Radio here on 100.7 FM KCLA LP. My name is Victor Bustillos and I am your host.
What's going on out there, South Bay? And as usual, we want to welcome you all back to Bridge City Radio. And tonight, we got a guest in the house, or should I say a few guests. And what we like to do here at Bridge City Radio is bring in producers and bands.
That's right. That's right.
So tonight we got some young guys and Wall Down. So
Wall Down.
What's going on, Wall Down?
Hey, what's going on? Frank?
Going good.
All right.
Thanks for having us.
Nah, man, glad you guys are here. You guys are so originally there's 4 of you guys in the band, correct?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Why don't we get an intro? We'll start from our left to the right.
My name is Anthony Duenas, and I'm the bass player of the band. And I've been playing bass for like around probably 8 or 9 years or so.
Nice.
My name is George Faris, and I play drums. I've been playing since 10 beyond 10 years, honestly. It's been a really long time. I don't have an exact number, but ever since probably 2nd grade, and even before that. 2nd grade is when I owned a drum set.
Sweet.
For the first time, but before that, I was playing on like pots and pans and stuff as a kid.
Nice.
Hi, my name is Andrew. I've been in the band for about 8 or 9 years, and I've been singing for like my whole entire life. I can't really put like a number on like how long I've been singing. Pretty much like as long as I've been alive. But
cool, man. Yeah, dude could definitely blow some wind right there with the vocals, man.
Yeah. I'm Phillip Simen. I started this whole band with George Faris. And I play the rhythm guitar, lead as well, and the keys. And I also do vocals, mainly rapping and backing vocals along with Andrew.
Nice.
Sweet. So Wall Down. So being a band here. So what are some of your guys' like influences as far as music or the genre that you guys are into? Like what exactly? So some of you listeners may not know what exactly type of music are you playing, and also who are some of your influences?
Yeah. So I'd say a big influence from me would be Linkin Park.
Okay.
Because of the whole alternative aspect of it and everything. And also mainly 3 Days Grace for their rock.
Who's that?
Alternative. They're a 3-piece band, an old 3-piece band.
Early 2000s.
Yeah, about early 2000s with Adam Gontier. Currently have a new singer now, but yeah, no, they've grown and shown me that like, you could totally change up the styles of music and everything, and add on things that you wouldn't even think would go with what you're doing. You know, like just experiment with everything.
Yeah, and the thing about Linkin Park also, because that's one of my biggest influences myself. The thing about Linkin Park, I would say, is they're multi-genre, and that's like a thing where kind of like we do have like more genres, like that show than others, but in the end, we do pretty much everything. We go all over the place from alternative to rock to metal, like some screaming stuff,
nice.
Some electronic stuff like synths, I don't know, like funk type stuff.
Nice.
Pretty much go all over the place.
That's kind of right up our alley too, being like we like all types of like just electric music or eclectic music or soul or R&B or hip hop, because I know you guys have that little bit of that hip hop influence in your music too. So I want to ask a question over here to Anthony. So how long you been playing bass? I know you mentioned it right now, but who are some of your your influence as far as bases? Because as guys, this kid got nice on the bass.
You know, obviously as a bass player, I have to say Red Hot Chili Peppers is a very big influence for me. You know, they can play like fast and slow, and that's what I kind of like. Also, like The Offspring is a good influence for me. 'Cause I like punk, so I like punk and funk. So I try to like mix them together, you know, and try to create, you know, my own unique sound, playing fast, playing funky at the same time.
Those are great bands too, man. I mean, I love that. I may not look like the kind of guy that likes that kind of music, but I do enjoy that. So that's good. And you guys have been walled down for how long?
Well, basically, I met Philip when I was in middle school. So before that, we've gone under different names, but
So what middle school was that?
that was Marilest.
Marilest, yeah.
Okay.
Marilest up on the hill. But after that, throughout high school, that's around the time, at least, yeah. So that's around the time we met Anthony. And then a little bit after that, we eventually met Andrew. And so I'd say we've been walled down as a band itself since high school, but under the name Wall Down, probably, I'd say still high school, but a little bit after that, because we had a name before Wall Down, which was called Early Life, which we no longer go under.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so it seems like before there was actually so when you guys formed, you guys didn't have a singer then.
No, we
Okay.
didn't at all. We George and I actually tried carrying on with the vocals just ourselves. So
Okay.
we were trying to be a 3-piece band, like I told you with 3 Days Grace, how they were a 3-piece band. Therefore, I was influenced, like, we can do this. Like,
Yeah, yeah.
you know,
Okay.
I felt we could do it just ourselves. But yeah, reality struck us for a little bit, and then kind of fell through and said, you know what, let's try and find a singer.
Good.
Let's try.
Originally, it was gonna be me and Philip just doing the vocals, like me doing lead vocals, pretty much
Right.
while doing the drums, and Philip doing like rap vocals and stuff. But you know, eventually we're like, okay, we can do that, but it'd be a little bit more convenient to have someone who's like a front man, you know, like an actual front man.
Yeah. Yeah, the front man's usually the guy. So that's when Andrew comes in. So I had some questions for Andrew, like so exactly when did you get come into the group, and also who were some of your influences? When did you start singing? How did you get into it? What kind of music was being played in your house? There's a lot of questions, but I just want you to take a moment to answer some of those.
Okay, so basically, it all started off by me meeting Philip, and I actually met him in high school. But he told me he had a band, and I didn't know at the time. But I wasn't playing like anything at the time, or like, you know, learning how to sing. I could just always sing. Like, I've always had this gift.
Right.
And I think what's crazy is like my main influence for sure has to be my parents. 'Cause
Nice.
They've always sung around me. They've always done a lot of things like that.
What
and I don't-
nationality are you? I don't mean to cut you off.
I'm actually Puerto Rican and Cuban.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Good. I see it. I see that influence in you. But earlier, before we started recording, I overheard some things, and I thought that there was some Spanish culture in there, and which
Yeah.
explains the musical history.
Also
Yeah.
the talent, like he's just bubbling up. He's just like wanting to perform, and before we got to doing the actual the scene here or the show, he was already singing and
Yeah.
performing. Anywhere
Yeah,
we
they
said,
sound
Andrew
good.
was going off.
Sound good.
We mentioned Disco Duck, and he started making a song out of it. So
Yeah, I've just always had like a tune in my head all the time. I've always just been like really creative. I've always like dreamed about songs, and then sometimes like heard that in my dream, and then sang it in real life, and then oh wow, you know, it sounded good. I don't know. I just feel like I feel like my parents are for sure a big inspiration. Another big inspiration is for sure Linkin Park, but the
Yes.
reason why is because my sister showed it to me. I remember it like it was yesterday, man. We were on road trips, and I'm like, man, I'm trying to get into a band. You know, I want to get into some like really good music. So I was just thinking, she's like, oh, you know, there's this band out there. There's 3 Days Grace, stuff like that.
right.
But I never heard of Linkin Park before. So I learned them, and I was like, man, I really like Chester Bennington. I feel like I can relate to him. Maybe I can't
Yes.
scream like him, but I can
Yeah.
sing like him. And I feel like maybe I could be as creative as him. But, you know, who am I to compare to that legend right there? That was for sure.
Yeah,
R.I.P.
rest
Chester
in
Bennington.
peace, man.
Yeah.
Yeah. Such a great artist. It's a shame that we lose so many good artists at a young age. So how, speaking of age, how old are you guys? If you can just say your name again and the age.
Oh, Andrew, and I'm 22.
I'm Anthony, and I'm also 22.
George 21.
And Phillip, and I'm 22.
Okay, so you guys are same age bracket then. Man,
Yeah.
that's pretty good. So since high school, so you would say about 5 years with the band, maybe?
Yeah, just
Close to that.
about. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, because we
Yeah.
started, let's see, sophomore year, at least like as walled down or whatever, like close to sophomore year. So let's see, junior year, senior year, and then after that I was like 17, so 18, 19, 20. I'd say like close to 5 years
to
after
5
high
years.
school. And it's crazy because I'm the only one who went to a different high school. All these guys at some point I think went to the same high school, which was Narbonne.
Oh.
I went to Peninsula. I was like all up on. I was a snobby like Peninsula guy or whatever.
Are you Palos Verdes native?
I've been okay. So I'm pretty much on the border of Palos Verdes. Like I'm like near I don't know, like close to San Pedro and also close to like Lomita.
Okay.
So like it's like right on the border of that, like
Yeah.
right at the bottom of the hill. So
You're right by the projects then.
right there. Yep. You know the projects, KFC. It's like I'm in the crossfire
Yes,
of everything. You got
yes,
the projects
listeners.
To the
Yeah.
left of
Listeners
me,
know that Palos Verdes does have projects.
and the graveyard. The graveyard.
He's
too.
right by the graveyard,
Can't
actually.
forget about the graveyard, the refinery, the water tower, all this stuff. I'm in the crossfire of everything. You got the projects to the left, graveyard to the right, water tower behind me, refinery in front of me. It's all
Also,
there.
too, if I could recall, this is where the band actually practices is in his living room, right?
Yes.
So that's the spot right there.
That is the main
Yep.
spot for many, many years.
For
From
so long.
start till now, currently,
Wow.
it is the spot that we make the magic.
Now,
That
is
all the
this
magic happens.
whose living room is this?
My living room.
Wow.
My parents' living room, but technically I am a part of the house.
And what nationality are you, bro?
Me, I'm like part white, but also my dad is Lebanese.
I was gonna
So
say
like
you-
I was born here. I don't know how to speak the language at all, but I guess I have some of that in me. My mom, she's also like part white too, so it's like I got some.
Yeah, man. Be proud of what
I
you
think
are,
she's
man.
either I should probably know this, but she's also either part Italian or Irish. I'm pretty sure it's Irish, but I'm not fully sure.
Well, you-
Mom, if you're watching this, I'm sorry. Don't crucify me.
I mean,
no wonder why she makes such good food, dude.
I was gonna
all
say,
the
yeah,
time.
Lebanese
makes really
food
good
is
food.
amazing. I mean, your dad's
My dad knows
from
actually.
Lebanon, right?
She doesn't cook too often, but he does know how to make some Lebanese type food.
Wow.
My mom, she does like everything. It's crazy. She's a really good cook. She
His
cooks for us
mom's,
like
his
almost
mom's
every
really
night.
cool too. She likes real supportive of the band. Brings them by, drops them off. Those
All the
Yeah,
types of
time,
she's
shit.
like
yeah.
the band mom.
Yeah, she like really the band mom
Yeah.
of it all. And I
That's
love that.
great. You got to have a good parents to allow you to bring four guys into the living room and jam out. You know,
I would say his mom. All of our moms kind of are.
Yeah, my mom and his mom have probably been the biggest supporters of the band. Like, I can't stress enough on how much
His mom.
they care for the band and really want us to succeed.
Good.
Really want the success for us. You know.
Yes, I
His
understand.
mom
too.
helped me get a new drum set actually, which is the drum set I'm
Sweet.
currently using.
Wow.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I
Wow.
understand your dad was a musician too, right, Phillip?
Yeah, my dad and mom were actually in a band themselves for a little bit. They were working on touring at one point, and my mom was working on recording an album, but it all fell off eventually, and my dad had to move back from Denmark because that's where his band originated,
Oh,
and it was a whole like different language for the band name. It really was like but I know the initials were like WWVVVV. Like that was the whole thing, and it was a long name, yeah. And my mom, I could never remember her band's name again. If you ever watch this, Mom, I'm sorry too. Like,
So I'm getting the big picture here. That's what Wall Down is. We got Lebanese, Puerto Rican. You mentioned Denmark. So
Wow.
so you guys have a
Yeah.
whole lot of different nationalities coming together to create Wall Down.
very diverse, yes,
I like
very
that.
diverse.
I like that.
Try to keep it different and try to keep it equal at the same time. You know.
Good, man. That's pretty much what we're aiming for here on Bridge City Radio, man. We try to bridge the gaps between all the cities, and we want everyone to know that there's just so much good music out there, whether it's rock, whether it's jazz, reggae, funk, disco, soul. It don't really matter. There's more music out there than what's being played on the radio. And we've been blessed with this opportunity to have a station that's allowing us to play esoteric music, which is music that just doesn't get the airtime. You know what I mean?
Yes.
I'm honored to be able to do that, to be able to bring some music that I've unearthed or that I've learned from other people who have unearthed this music that no one's ever heard and have a chance to put it on the airwaves. We're glad. I want to hear some of your guys' music. I'm sure you have some here with you tonight. What is one of the songs that you guys want to share with us?
Yes.
Well, we're working on an EP album right now.
Okay.
Which is, I'd say, a bit more than halfway done, to be honest.
Yeah,
Do you guys
it
see
is
that?
definitely halfway done
Yeah.
because we have the first half of it for you. And one of the first songs is actually an intro to one of our first release singles ever, We're Gonna Die. The song is titled The Final Warning.
Okay, great.
And
great.
it's basically, our final warning to all that, we're coming out, that we're not going to be in the shadows anymore.
Good.
We're going to immerse.
Good,
And,
good.
Show our faces.
Exactly.
Let's get into
It's
that.
mainly an
Yeah.
instrumental, and it's kind of short, but I mean, it's still like the intro to our album, I guess.
Got
So.
you.
Okay. So this will
Okay.
give us
We should-
a feel of what
Give-
Wall
yeah,
Down is
yeah,
going to
good.
bring.
Yeah, exactly. It's kind of
Nice.
like
Okay.
get ready for what's coming next.
Let's
Yeah,
get into
it's
it
for
then.
sure diverse. Like it has different sounds in it.
Okay.
Let's get ready for that.
We're gonna let that
All
thing
right.
run then.
All
This
right,
is
good.
Wall Down, Final Warning.
Final warning. Here we go.
Yeah. Love that, man.
Yeah, man. I'm digging that, man. That's got a nice heavy vibe to it. It's got a mystic, eerie vibe to it. I mean, I can't even really place my finger on it. It has a Metallica feel to it. It has a
Also,
little
one of
bit
my
of,
influences, Metallica, is
Oh,
like my first band I ever started listening to back when I was a little kid, and that's what got me into all these bands I listen to now.
Yeah, that's a hot track right there. So it had that Ozzy too, like,
yeah, man, the whole thing.
Black Sabbath
man.
sound, but a hip hop sound in there. I could see why you guys mentioned Linkin Park too.
So
yeah.
so vocals is on this little snippet that we just heard right now.
Yeah.
Who was that?
That was me on the vocals.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Man, that was pretty good, bro. That was
Thank you,
pretty
I
good.
appreciate
You
it.
know, it's like a spin-off of the Final Countdown. You
Yeah.
know what I mean?
Final Warning.
Good, man. So this song right here that we just got a snippet of is pretty much what we could expect on the EP that you guys are about to drop, correct?
Yes.
For the
And-
most part, some songs faster, some songs slower, obviously, but around like the I guess genre of it, I would say close to.
Okay. And then you guys are almost done with this EP. Is it to drop soon?
I would say it probably would be done in a few months, say 3 or 4 months at most.
Okay.
Maybe a little bit sooner than that.
I'd
We don't have a
say-
set release date yet.
Yeah,
but
I'd say we're very close, but not close enough to determine a set release date.
Yes.
we're more than
Okay, good.
halfway. Definitely, I'd say about 65%.
Yes,
Sorry,
we're
something
very,
like that.
we're very
Yeah.
far in the process.
And what should we expect on the EP? Is it going to be a 7-song EP?
A 6-song EP.
6 songs.
EP,
One is an
yeah.
intro song, 5 like full length songs or whatever.
Okay, good. So we're looking at least a
Yeah.
good 25 minutes worth of
Yeah.
music.
Just
Well,
about.
Before
Yeah.
I understand, you guys got some out right now. You guys got 2 tracks out. I believe it was
Yeah, right now we've got We're Gonna Die out.
We're
That's
Gonna-
our first release single ever. Like we've never had any single before this one, and we were honestly proud to release this
It
one.
took us a very
Took a
long
very
time
long
to get to
time.
this point. We've been through a lot of hardships as a whole entire band, but we, stuck through and I'm glad things are moving way faster now than they were in the beginning, because like we're now finally getting stuff out there for the world to hear, and that's honestly what we wanted to start with. It just took us a long time given.
So that's We're Gonna Die by Wall Down. You guys also have another song that just came out too, which is
we also have Light It Up
by Wall Down. So yeah, we want to encourage our listeners out there to go check them out. And we actually didn't even ask, but where can people find you online too? Like what is your guys' handles
Spotify,
on?
We got Instagram.
Okay, Instagram. So it's Wall Down.
We also have a Facebook page as well. So Spotify,
okay,
YouTube. We have a YouTube.
Okay.
Yeah, we're gonna put all of our social media in the description. So if you guys could,
we might get a Twitter eventually if we don't have.
Yeah, because I was looking you guys up and I noticed you guys had some.
We do.
We do have a Twitter. We just
I never checked it out.
Yeah, I'm very new to Twitter. I'm not too experienced.
I don't even have a Twitter. So if you guys are trying to add me, sorry, I don't have one.
Twitter's like more for Beyonce or whoever. I'm not too savvy on Twitter, but Twitter's good though. Twitter's for celebrities.
Yeah,
So-
it's all right.
I kind of got I have curiosities because to my understanding, I know Frank has known you guys for a while, and I just met you guys today, and I like what I'm seeing. I like what I'm hearing. That's for sure. You guys have a nice chemistry together. So I just kind of want to start off from one end here with the bass player, and I want to ask each one of you guys how long you've been playing your instrument. And was it always alternative or rock music that you've been into? Just brief description. I like to know people's backgrounds. You know what I mean? Like, were you into Mexican music at one time, or country, or hip hop, or has it just always been rock?
For me, I would say it's usually been rock and punk with like Ramones, Offspring, and Bad Religion, I would say. And, I've been playing probably since 2011, because it originally started off in 7th grade in middle school. I originally wanted to be a guitar player, so I took a whole year course of that, and then at the end of the year, I asked my music teacher if there was any more classes, because I wanted to further my knowledge of it. And there was no really extra guitar class, but he told me I could join the advanced band in 8th grade.
Nice.
And learn the bass. So it was kind of like, it was really new to me, 'cause I was used to like the guitar. So then he put me on the bass and saw the strings, thicker, there's less, usually more pressure on the fingers, and yeah, and I just really fell in love with it ever since then. So,
Wow.
and I was, that was probably in like 2011, and yeah, just been playing bass ever since.
I have a similar story in out of elementary school. Was excited to be in the band. I went to Perry Junior High in Gardena, and 7th grade, I got to be in the band. It was the first year, and I wanted to play drums. I've always been into percussion. I've always been into drums. That's what I wanted to do.
Mm-hmm.
But of course, everybody wanted to play drums. So you get what you got if you weren't good enough, and I wasn't good enough. So they put me on the upright, and I loved it. I played upright for all of 7th grade until 8th grade, and I ended up playing baritone, which was actually a fun instrument as well. But that's cool. I like to know, and Frank says that you're real funky on the bass, bro. So that's why my curiosity struck, because I was like, if the cat's funky on the bass and he's playing rock, I mean, those are kind of, it's kind of hard to hear funkiness in a rock song, but I'm sure I'm looking forward to listening to it, man. Definitely.
Thank you.
And what about yourself, bro? You play the drums, you said?
Yeah. So I've been playing drums for as long as I pretty much can remember. Like ever since I was like, a little kid, like a toddler, probably like 2 or something. Like I was always like hitting pots and pans and stuff. And then in class, when I got to like elementary school, I was always like tapping on the desk and stuff like that.
Yes.
So my parents finally gave in and bought me a drum set. But it was like a little beginner's drum set.
Yes.
And this was, I think, when I moved from Maryland, because I was born in Maryland. Then I moved to Redondo when I was like 6 or 5. So this is when I was in Redondo Beach. I had like a little miniature drum set, not like an actual one, but like a little kid one or something like that.
Yeah.
But I got a first serious drum set around like 2nd grade. So when I was like 7 or 8 years old. And ever since then, I took drum lessons for a long time with the same drum teacher. His name is Robin. He had a place, like a little drum shop in Redondo Beach too. And I started off just, reading the books and stuff, playing like a basic rock book and then a basic blues book or something like that.
So you play by note?
Yeah, I learned
You can
how to
read.
play drum notes at first, and then I started like playing by ear, like eventually, because he got me into learning, because Metallica was one of my favorite bands at the time, one of the only bands I actually knew. So he said, yeah, just pick a song that you think you like a lot and you'll learn how to play it on the drums. So I picked the very first song I knew by Metallica, which was Enter Sandman.
Yes.
So, yeah, I learned that on the drums. It's a very just basic album on the drums, but it's a good starter album. So I played that whole album like start to end, and then I don't know, just eventually I started getting into other stuff like more alternative rock, and at one point I got into like more EDM dubstep type stuff and rap, and just, I started expanding it. Like some bands, for example, like I started off with were like Linkin Park, let me think, Disturbed, Breaking Benjamin, more on like I guess alternative, but then more like dubstep artists, like newer people, like obviously Skrillex, but just I don't know, like Steve Aoki,
the big guys,
Excision, and then like rap. I don't know, just a whole bunch of different genres. Just gotten all of them at once. I can't really pick a genre at the moment that I like the most. It's just all over.
So you're
the place.
well rounded.
That's good though.
Which describes the band perfectly.
Pretty much,
too,
yeah.
So, good man.
Andrew too. Yeah. What were some of your influences as far as when you were young, like people you looked up to and wanted to be like?
I'm so sorry. One more thing I was just going to add too before I forgot, because that was one big thing too. One more thing I also experimented too with was like in marching band in high school.
Okay.
I joined marching band. I played the tenor drums, which is like the big drums or whatever. And that was like a 50-pound drum or something like that in total. And like I'm a small guy, so because they, everyone was kind of like your story. Everyone was doing the bass drum. Everyone was doing the snare drum pretty much. So I had the snare drum was for like the advanced people. Bass drum was like the beginner. So they're like, okay, here, just wear this thing. I'm like, damn, this is like 50 pounds or something.
Yeah. I played third bass in marching band throughout high school. I actually got a Letterman's for that all 4 years, third bass in marching band. So I know what you mean. Like I wanted to play quads.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But I wasn't good enough. I played snare for a little bit. I was like a replacement snare. So when one snare player couldn't make it, then I got to play. But and it was okay because I learned to love the bass because believe it or not, that is the backbeat of the band, period.
Yeah, exactly.
You got to keep the tempo for the band. So it's great to be on point.
And one more thing too, I did in high school was jazz band as well. So I have all that, like just all the influence. I guess it goes all over the place. Anyways,
it's never ending.
I meant to say that earlier, but I completely forgot. So I wanted to say it now.
No, let me ask you one more question now, because you never mentioned what types of music was being played in your home when you were growing up. Like your parents?
My parents, my dad's into he likes reggae a good bit. He also likes like classic rock and stuff like that.
Okay.
My mom, she likes more also, I guess, like classic rock. She kind of likes, I don't know, like just upbeat, like older, like 80s, 90s type songs, stuff like that.
Okay.
So older school type, I guess, rock, and also, just my dad likes reggae, just some Latin stuff. I don't know, just he's got
all over the place.
Definitely a large variety of influences himself, like musically.
Sounds like my household too.
None of them are musicians. Like none of them play music. I'm the only one in the family that plays music, actually.
Okay.
Not family. My parents. My brothers also play music too. They've done trumpet, saxophone, all that stuff. But
okay, cool. So it sounds like your parents were putting you guys into instruments then, right?
Me, well, not really. I kind of chose it on my own. They gave in because I was getting in trouble in class and stuff, tapping all the time on the desk and stuff. So.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
I feel like my influence was, is for sure my parents, but as I started getting older, I pretty much I would say ventured out, and checked out different genres.
Right.
I've never just been into one genre, but if I had to say anything, I'd for sure say that I've always been just making my own music.
Yes.
I've never really always just listened to other people's music. Like all the time when I'm at my house, I'm usually just bumping me. And I don't know. It's kind of weird. I don't know how to
You're
explain
your biggest
it.
fan, huh?
Yeah.
Your biggest supporter and everything.
Pretty much.
That's good, bro. You got to be that way.
Occupy yourself.
That's good, yeah.
If you have a whole bunch of free time, just start creating. Doesn't necessarily have to be for anything specific. Just randomly just start creating music, and you'll have a whole bank of songs you can choose what you want to do with. It's awesome.
Yeah, so I know with Andrew, you have that is it Black Bands or I heard your music
it's like
on
my side project I'm working on right now.
Is that on was that on SoundCloud?
Yeah, that's on SoundCloud.
So that was like more like hip hop rap, right?
Yeah, I'd say it's like all kinds of influences, like Suicide Boys, Juice WRLD, X, just a lot of stuff. And I feel like it's just like really diverse. Like my talent's not just like one thing.
Yeah.
I can shine in a lot. Like, man, I've seen myself singing opera, like, to be honest, like
nice.
Mhm.
hitting those high notes. Like, never limit yourself, because you could always be better than what you are. And what I wanted to touch up on was, I know that these guys know how to play instruments.
Yeah.
I do too, but not good, because
Yeah.
I never actually
Yes.
made that my passion.
Yes.
Passion is my voice. Passion is singing. I've never been into the guitar like that. I've never been into drums. I can't do it myself, because I know that I don't have the love and passion they do.
Mm.
So I'm grateful to have them in the band doing that, because I'm happy that I was always able to rely on singing,
Yeah,
because
it's good though.
for sure.
Well, and it's not a bad thing, because each one of you need each other, because without a singer, you're just an instrumental band.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And without a drummer, you don't really have a backbone. And without a bass line, I mean, there's no rhythm. You know what I mean? It's like everything goes together. You got your guitars. It just, you need each other, you know? So, I could relate to how you say it. Like, I can play instruments, but it's not where I shine most. That's pretty much me. I mean, I've dabbled in a lot of different instruments, but I've never picked one up and ran with it. I've always ran with music. I mean, I could rhyme, I could freestyle, I could make beats, but I ran with what was my passion, and that doesn't require any talent. What I do, I'm a record collector, and I find music and I listen to music and I play music for people that's hasn't been heard or that has been unearthed. That's what I like to do. And I learned from these guys that do the same thing.
Right.
But that doesn't take talent. Any one of you can do that. But the fact is, I don't care if it's a talent or not. It's my passion. It's what I love to do. You know what I mean? And I never ran with the third bass, or I never ran with the baritone. I never ran with the making the beats. And Frank and I used to, we have a couple things that we've done in the past that we never ran with that either. You know what I mean? But records has always been there for me. And it's the reason why we
being a music lover.
Yeah. Because I've been told a lot, like when I was younger, oh, you can't sing. You don't sound good. You sound too high pitched.
Look at you now, right?
I was about to say, look at me now.
I had a very bad experience at a talent show in middle school, and that lowered my confidence probably for like 7 years after that or something. But
I think we all got that
let's
story.
not get into that one.
What about yourself? So you're the guy that brought these monsters together, right? You're the guy that came with the idea and said, "This is what we should do." What do you guys think? Basically, right?
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
So for guitar, you say you've been playing guitar for how long?
All right. So pretty much with me, it honestly started with drums. It started off with me wanting to be a drummer. And I thought that was like where it was at. I thought that's what I wanted. Like, I was set that I wanted to be a drummer. But it ended up that, it was something that I enjoyed. And it was something to do when I blew off steam and everything, especially. But, like, it wasn't really my thing when it came to music. Like, and I discovered music in middle school with this guy. Like, I discovered that that's what I wanted to do for my life, for the rest of my time. Seriously.
Yes.
So when I figured out that drumming wasn't really going to be my thing, and he wanted to be my drummer, and I was like, all right, let's do this. I decided... I still needed to do something, obviously. Otherwise, it's just him and me standing there. So I picked up a guitar, and trust me, it goes back to the whole sense of it was not my thing.
Okay.
It was not my thing. And it's funny because, on a side note, Anthony is actually the one who really taught me how to play guitar.
Wow.
He taught me. I learned through tabs, and Anthony helped me. Like, if it wasn't for this guy, I wouldn't even have known how to hold it, probably.
Wow.
Seriously.
I kind of had an idea that he was the deadly weapon of the band, only because it's usually the guy that's quiet, that doesn't reach for the mic, that doesn't want the attention on him. He doesn't care whether the spotlight is on him or not. He's usually the monster of the group.
So we say all the time.
Yes. So I kind of got that vibe off of him, because he hasn't really said much, and I'm trying to like aim the mic towards him, but that's okay. He's cool with it. You know what I mean? He's cool with it. But I didn't mean to cut you off, man.
Oh,
so,
no, it's no
so
problem.
Anthony's
Yeah.
kind of the reason why you learned how to play guitar. You
Yeah,
said.
he really is. He's a big inspiration. And when it comes to just me being vocal, that comes from my parents. And my parents will always be my number one influence.
Yes.
They will always be the ones that I say are the people who taught me that I have a voice,
Yes.
and I should use it. Otherwise, what am I doing with my life? I'm wasting my time. Seriously. So they, did to the best of their ability, taught me how to sing, control my voice, do as much as I can with it. And, they also taught me that there's always room to grow.
Yes.
Always room to
Absolutely
grow.
true.
So, there's always room for improvement, and, getting better and better not only looks good to everyone else, but to yourself and your self-esteem
Yes.
and everything. And once you see how much you've, improved and changed throughout time, that's your thing. So I found that I want to sing.
Yes.
Pretty much. I found out that I wanted to sing. I wanted to be vocal, but I'm not I'm going to be honest with myself about it. I'm not the greatest singer. I don't want to be the front man though.
Got you.
Therefore I found
Andrew.
this guy.
Yeah.
I just, he had a high pitched voice, and trust me, we were listening to some recordings the other day, George and I, and he had a high pitched voice.
Wow.
Proof was in the pudding.
We came a long way.
Yeah, we came a long way.
You guys brought a couple songs to share with us tonight, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Is there one that has vocals on it that we can hear?
Two.
Yes. Two.
Oh wow! Why don't we get into one? What song do you guys want to share
Actually,
with us?
we should listen to the single "We're Gonna Die."
This is the one
Yeah.
that comes right after the intro that we just showed you guys. The final warning. This is if you listen to the album, it's supposed to be like this. The final warning fades into this song, pretty
Okay.
much.
Yes.
Okay. All right. Cool. So this is once again, we got Wall Down in the studio tonight on Bridge City Radio. You guys are tuned in to 100.7 LPFM KCLA. We're gonna hit you with a single from their EP called "We're Gonna Die."
Every day it's like the same old thing, nothing matters to them anymore. Waking up to feel a certain way, justify that I am always ignored. Why do I try to belong? We're gonna die. That death just came to us with open arms. We're gonna die. I'm looking to the other side, and then I realize that we're gonna die. We're gonna die. We're gonna die. Another day just seems to go by. Hey, anyways, it doesn't matter. We'll die. Talk some trash, it doesn't matter. You just might find yourself to pay the small price. Why do we try to belong? We're gonna die. That death just came to us with open arms. We're gonna die. We're gonna die. We're gonna die. We're gonna die.
You never seem to notice me. You never seem to notice me. You never seem to notice me. You never really cared about me. Never seem to notice me. Never seem to notice me. Never seem to notice me. You never really
We're gonna die. die. Looking to the other side and then I realize that we're gonna die. We're gonna die. We're gonna die. We're gonna die.
Yeah. Wow. Okay, I get it. I could hear a lot of Linkin Park in there. Man, you weren't lying, Frank. This guy is funky on the bass, bro.
Oh yeah, they all got their unique creativity they bring to the table. Once again, that was "We're Gonna Die" by Wall Down. Make sure you check it out. It's on Spotify and anywhere music is sold, actually. So Wall Down.
So let me ask you guys a question. Who's producing your music right now? Because I have an idea who it might be, but I'm not 100% sure. So I don't want to say anything on the radio. But I want to know who did the production on what we've just heard.
All right, I'm gonna give a big shout out to Frank.
I thought it was.
I'm just helping them out, man. These guys are the ones that are actually trying to show them how to push the knobs. Especially, Andrew. He's real talented, man. He's making beats. He's got his little rig there with his, nowadays people are making beats on their phones, man.
Yeah.
And he knows how to chop up all these little samples and loops and kits. And
I do the same on my brother's iPad on GarageBand.
There you go.
I have a solo project as well, and I've made like so many different types of sounds just using that iPad. And it's crazy because there's like no limits on what you can do with that thing on GarageBand.
Right.
And it's free. I'm not even paying for this thing. And I'm coming out with like bangers. It's crazy.
it's sort of like how you can make videos now on like KindMaster and things like that. Now you're able to do that with these apps now where you could actually make music. I mean, but beyond that, I mean, when we get in the studio, I show them, hey, push this knob. That's what it does. And they're up there. They're ready to see, hey, what if we add this or add that? So definitely they're up there, learning the stuff too. And that's what's important to me is because this is a young man's game. You look at hip hop or even alternative rock, these young guys have the sound of what, or the vision of what, because we're old guys, man. Me and this guy right here, Victor, we're already in our 40s. I believe you're in your 40s, right?
Yeah.
So we're older guys, and all we could do is sit back and just watch you guys and let you guys do your thing and shine.
But you're absolutely right, Frank, because that's one thing that I never wanted to be, and I never have been. I don't want to block the future from doing what they do. I want to enforce the future to do what they do, because I want to be a part of that as well. See, when you start shutting people out and you start like blocking them from doing what they do because you want your legend to live on, your legend will die out. You know what I mean? So you live longer by helping the next man out. It's a lot like that in the record collector industry, where there's a lot of record collectors that will hide the label, or they won't tell you what song that was for whatever reason. But I've learned that by sharing, I've gotten more back tenfold. You know what I mean? By being that positive influence, that person that's willing to show love and give love, I get that much love back. It may not be in record collecting, but it's in the rest of the areas of my life, whether it's through family, through sobriety, through the record, through the radio station. This just fell in my lap. I didn't ask for this, so those are the blessings that I get. So I would encourage that too, man, to, like Frank said, he's just trying to pass the torch on to you guys, man, take it and run with it. 'Cause you'll never forget Frank for that, and then now Frank's legend continues to live through you guys. Yeah. So it's a blessing, man. It really is.
Yeah, precisely. When I first met Frank and he told me that he wanted to help us out, it was supposed to be with just one song, and then I had mentioned to him, with all my gusts and everything, I had told him like, hey, we got 6 songs. You think you'd possibly want to work with us? And then he's like, yeah, why not? Let's give it a shot. Let's give it a try. And boom, here we are today with almost the whole EP.
Wow. All produced by Frank?
All produced by Frank. Yes.
Oh, see, that he has a secret life I don't know about. I've known the guy 20 years almost.
A couple times Frank's letting us, like me, for example, mess with the like the EQs and stuff for like certain instruments. Like for example, the drums, like he brought it to like general sound. He's like, all right, anything you want to add to it. So I went on there and the bar thing that you drag and adjust, all that stuff.
It's about plugins.
Yeah, because it was like too poppy.
I pretty much got him to sound maybe not so much for "We're Gonna Die," but like for the other songs on the album, I started like trying to get them to sound like how I would feel like as well, like as a drummer, because you hear certain things and yet like the drums can have different tones, you know. Some might be brighter, some might be a darker, heavier sound, you know. So I try to mix it as well as I can myself as well. But I'd say Frank, you know, he's doing so much on top of that, like, you know, just like mixing the general sound coming up, you know. So yeah, in the end, a lot of the producing is Frank, but every now and then he lets us, you know, like just try to like, you know, do it on our own, I guess. Good. Kind of
as any production should be, because ultimately it's what you guys want the people to hear, and it's going to represent who you are as a band. So you guys want it to sound the way it should sound for you guys. So that's good. That's real good.
Yeah, there's things I've added in, and they were like, "Oh, you added that in? Can you turn it down a little bit?"
Yeah, that don't sound good, Frank.
Take it out a little more. Just turn it down. How about if we just take it out? Yeah, we could just take it out. So yeah, definitely. I've been on both sides. Where I remember growing up, you know, in '80s and '90s when we went to recording studios, it costed like $60-70 an hour, and we weren't able to touch stuff. So I see now, like as an older guy, I want the younger guys to be able to touch things and move things around, because they're the ones that hear it already. They heard it first in their head, and that goes for a lot of guys that are out there, a lot of bands, a lot of producers. They have a sound, and a lot of times people want to change that. Yeah, and sometimes changing it is good, because you could come across some new, you know, sounds or a new spectrum of ideas. But a lot of times you won't. And that's what I like about these guys. Even Andrew would tell you, and like you know, when I first met him, he's like, can I do it again? I mean, I'm sorry. And I'm like, bro, if you want to do it 50 or 60 or 70 times, I'm not doing nothing right now. I'm not going nowhere. I don't have nothing to do today. Yeah. Let's just do it again. And a lot of guys that I do work with will tell you that, like, man, I like working with Frank, because he'll let us just keep doing it until we get it right. Because it's important, because once you get it right, then you got it right. Yes. But if you put something out that ain't right, you're going to regret it later on in life, right?
Very true. Don't rush. Make sure that it's like, you know, good how you want it to be. You don't want to be like, oh, I don't like how the mix sounds. Maybe the mix could be a little bit better. You want to for sure address that when you're there at the studio, is what I'm starting to learn for sure. Because what I'm also starting to realize is, you know, this is my first like studio, you know what I mean? Like, we've never recorded in anything like this, and I've always just recorded on my phone. I've always just recorded on my iPad, stuff like that. And it's for sure a big blessing to be able to record with Frank. Like, this is a big opportunity that for sure a lot of people wouldn't really get.
Amen. Well, you know what? I'm glad that you guys met. I'm glad that I had the opportunity tonight to sit here and interview you guys, meet you guys, and listen to some of the music that you have. You know, whenever I come across new people, it's always it's exciting, because I want to know what they have. And sometimes you just get disappointed, and I don't ever want to be a yes man. I don't ever want to say yes just because I want to be nice. I want to be honest and say, man, it's okay. I like it. It's not my style, but you know, there's room for improvement, and there's ways to word things. There's ways to word things to where you can be nice, and you don't have to be mean when you're telling somebody you don't like their music. But I'm grateful tonight that I actually enjoyed what I heard, so I don't have to act fake on the radio and say, oh yeah, that's nice.
Well, honestly, and I could proudly say this a little bit, like, if you really enjoyed the first one, then it only gets better. Trust.
I hear we have one more here, right?
Better, yeah.
What's
next
this one?
Is the next release that we have called "Light It Up," and this was another one that we worked really hard on and made sure that the mixing was good, and that, you know, the guitar was set, the bass was at, you know, the perfect, you know, volume that it could be heard at throughout the whole song.
Yeah, this one we got a little more hands-on than We're Gonna Die, I think, and that's what we're starting to do more. So We're Gonna Die, I think, came out very good. We're very proud of it, but I think, you know, as time goes on, we're getting even better, and I think Light It Up kind of reflects that in a sense. Like, it's, I don't know, like, it could be even better than We're Gonna Die, or who knows? People can have different opinions, but
one thing I want to say about Light It Up, it's for sure the party song.
This is the turn-up song.
Like, this is the song you play when everyone wants to get together and they want to, like,
they want to light it up.
Yeah, they just play some beer pong or something.
Do anything, like, just go crazy, live your life to the fullest. You know, just.
That's you guys will hear it. Well, let's get down on that, man. I want to hear it, and I'm ready to party. Let's check it out. Light It Up from Wall Down on Bridge City Radio.
Let's get this party started. Jesus Christ, guys! What was that? What's that? side, let me show you how it's done. I don't do it for the pride, I just move because it's fun. With a 1-2 step, move your feet and don't forget, gonna jump real high like a fool and don't regret it. So now you take sweet time like stepping out of line, and you move so smooth like a joker doing crimes. Gotta shout it out loud, gotta scream without a doubt. Now you know what it takes and you'll never make mistakes. So
because it's always better on the other side. It's always better when you capture wave. When we turn the lights out, light the night up, move it till the end of time.
So light it up, light it up, light it up. Take my hand and let it go. Gonna show you I'm a pro. We can do this every day. We can show we're not afraid. And if you feel it in your heart, surely feel it jump start. We won't go without a fight. We'll be swinging across the skies like. Alright, alright. And if you feel so good, move your arms and move your feet. Gonna get you back, cause it's swaying so sweet. Cause you turn back time and you move the deep. Now show 'em what you got, gotta never be beat. Like
Because it's always better on the other side. It's always better when you capture wave. When we turn the lights out, light the night up, move it till the end of time.
so light it up, light it up, light it up. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Hey, 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 break.
Because it's always better on the other side. It's always better when you capture wave. When we turn the lights out, light the night up, move it till the end of time. Because it's always better on the other side. It's always better when you capture wave. When you turn the lights out, light the night up, move it till the end of time.
Light it up! Light it up! Light it up! Light it up!
Yes, yes. Okay, great, man. So definitely in my head, I envision backyard parties,
Yep.
half pipe, full shredding on a skateboard. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Crowd surfing.
Oh,
like
yeah.
these are all the things that I'm envisioning. That's going to be a great song at concert time. I mean, it seems to me like you guys are on a great path. And you guys have been doing pretty well from the music. I'm excited to hear it come out, man. So
Yeah, but one thing I want to touch up on is, it hasn't been easy. Being in a band, there are the problems that come with it.
yes.
Sometimes you feel like, man, is this the right thing I'm doing? But then since we've been together this long, this is the right thing. There have been times where we wanted to break apart
Yes, yes.
and we wanted to just stop this, but why stop something that we're so good at? You know what I'm saying? Like, let's show the world who we are.
Yeah,
Exactly.
and those are normal issues with bands, bro. And
Yep.
and what really is going to make you guys stronger is the fusion that you have together. Once you can get over those problems, ego is what's going to separate, and you can't let ego defeat you. You guys got to be equally loving and respectful towards each other's opinions and views, and that will
Yes.
keep you guys going forever, bro.
Yeah. I mean, I think real quick too, one more thing I'd like to add is like every band has its hardships. And if you are starting a band, you need to recognize that it's not, like Andrew said, it's not going to be all roses or whatever. Like there's going to be problems, but it's how you get through them that determines, if you're qualified, if you're going to make it, or
Yeah.
if you're just going to just give up and do nothing with
Honestly, it's all about teamwork and cooperation.
Yes.
And
Right.
those
Yes.
problems can include like members and stuff. Like we've been through so many different members in the past, which we'll probably get into another time. But just overall, we're together all as a band, and we're liking what we're doing, and yeah.
And I feel like the biggest thing, really quick, is communication.
Yes.
If you don't have communication, there's
Yes.
a lot of chaos.
definitely,
So,
that's one of my biggest life mottos.
yeah,
Is
for
communication is key.
Yeah, I want to just encourage you guys to finish what you start.
Yes.
I mean, you guys know some of my history. I have a documentary out called Spanish Fly on Amazon Prime, and it kind of tells a story of similar things. What Andrew touched on is it gets complicated being in a band. We were a rap band, a rap group, but every group has issues. That's why you see a lot of groups. It's not all groups eventually end up going their own way because, like Victor said, ego or money issues, or people want to have solo projects or whatever it is. But whatever it is you guys do, even if it's not included with the same producers or the same labels or whatever it is, finish what you guys start. Because if you do, then 10, 15, 20 years from now, at least you'll know, hey man, Wall Down did this.
Yes.
Like what I at least I could say I did a Spanish Fly Trust No Man album. I have that in my history, and a lot of times people get mad and they don't want to finish it. And you guys might not want to finish it. And you guys got the talent. You guys got the songs already almost done. Like George said, 65, 70% done. So make sure you finish what you started.
They're all like different styles too. So that took a good bit too. Cause like, so there's so many different genres within us. It's too much to even keep track of.
Well, I'm grateful that you guys came out, man. I really am. Like I said, I enjoyed what I hear. I like you guys. You guys got good energy. I definitely want to thank you guys for being on the show. We only got about 2.5 minutes left, and I want to make sure that you guys can give some quick info real quick on yourself. Once again, I just want to go through the names, the instrument that you play, your social media contacts. If you want to do a quick shout out to someone, that's fine as well. Why don't we start with Anthony, man?
Yeah, I'm Anthony Duenas, the bass player, and my Instagram is @_Duenas, which is DUENAS. And I'd just like to thank Frank and Vic for having us on here and taking their time to ask us questions and having us heard on, having us express our voice.
Thank you, man.
I probably don't have a lot of time, but I'm George Faris, and thank you guys so much for having all of us. And we're coming out with an EP album as Wall Down, coming out very soon. Check us out on Instagram, Facebook, Spotify, Twitter, YouTube, all those platforms we're on. And and also I'd like to shout out my solo project one more time. I have a Instagram page called X Days, and it's _X Days official. So just if you guys have the chance to check that one out, I feature some people from this band. So thank you once again, and have a good night.
Yeah, nice.
And again, I'm Andrew Rivera, and you could follow me on my social media, which is Black Bands, BLVCK, BNDZ on Instagram, and
I see you got your brother in the house too, Eli. He's a rapper too, right?
Oh, nice. We have to get a cipher on after the show, bro.
His name is Eli Bands.
Eli Bands, follow him as well.
Come up here, let him give a
Eli
shout out.
Bands,
Let Eli give a shout out.
What's up? My name's Eli Bands at Instagram, EEELIBANDZ. I generation defining artist coming up from LA.
Nice.
Out with the bangers.
I gotta hear that.
Bangers.
I smell another show coming on. So,
And then, like George said, check out the band at Wall Down Band and at Wall Down Music. We like to post a lot of fun and, awesome content and then extras for you guys to enjoy. And then also check me out at Wall Down Phil. So, just Instagram and all platforms available that has social media and everything,
Also, one more quick comment. I'm so sorry. My personal Instagram is XXWallDownDaysXX. So,
a lot of X's in there, bro.
So if you guys want to check that one out too, always feel free.
Nice. Well, man, I'm grateful. Frank, thank you for bringing these guys in, man.
Most definitely.
And geez, man, Bridge City Radio once again interviewing Wall Down over here out of the South Bay Harbor area on 100.7 KCLA LP FM.